Hi. I've now been placing these videos on retirement for some time. I did a check earlier on, and this is my 219 videos so far. Some of the videos I place are a bit out of order because I've always held some in reserve. This one is being made on the 20th of November 2024, and I've been making videos like this for about 19 months so far. So what's this have to do with you? In this video, I'd like you, as a retiree or coming up for retirement, to be clear on what you want as a retiree. This could apply to any part of your life really, but in particular as a retiree. You might say, well, I want to have enough money. I want to have enough money to retire. That is one of the most common thoughts that go through people's minds when they're coming up for retirement. To which I ask a question, why? And you think, well, it's obvious, you need enough money. You need enough money to do what? To have what? To be what? This is the important thing. It's not the money that you're after. You might think it is. It's the feeling of security that you believe that you will get if you have what you regard as enough money. Now, as my dear old mum said to me years ago, enough is as good as a feast. But you don't know what's enough. And our minds always tell us more, we need more. But if that's impossible, without staying on longer, and my advice is never stay on longer just to make a little bit more money, because you're using up the most precious years of your retirement, the early years. The earlier you retire, the better. So you need to imagine, I think, what you want, what to have and what to be. And this depends on what you value. Now you might think, well, that's something I've never thought of. What do I really value? And you'll come up with nebulous abstract things such as freedom to do what I want. But you need to examine it a bit more than that. Freedom to do what? This depends on your values. You might think you know what your values are, but are you sure about that? Your values are indicated by what you have been doing up to this point in your life. If you find that as soon as you get some money, you spend it on something, money just runs away from you, so to speak, then money is not of great value to you. It's what you can do with the money. How do you spend your life? What are the things which, in your free time, you gladly do? What are the things that dwell in your mind most of the time? The things you're thinking about, the hobbies, the aspirations, the groups you belong to, what you enjoy doing in those groups. Now, the old business about you're retiring now after 50 years of work, here's your gold watch, enjoy the fishing and the golf. You know that that's not accurate. Even if you're a keen golfer, unless you've got a lot of money and a lot of friends playing golf, and you may be into the competitive side of it, that is not going to take up much time in your life. Maybe a game a week, maybe 2 days a week if you're keen. I've never been a golfer. I had one game in my life, so I can't talk about that. But I know it's pretty addictive. What about fishing? Oh, you'll enjoy the fishing. What about if you've only been fishing 2 or 3 times in your life and you didn't like it very much because you never caught anything? So this is a bit of a misnomer, go fishing and play golf. What isn't a misnomer is that you will have time. Now, you don't know how much time. Let's supposing you retire at 60. You might have 10 years, 20, 30 or more. And of course the statistics show, at least for Australia, that men are retiring at 6 months before their 60th birthday and living into their middle 80s. And women retiring even earlier and living longer. So that is a long stretch of time. This is when you need to look at your values. What really interests you? What drives you? What are you almost addicted to? These are indications of your values. If you spend money on going to the theatre a lot, then of course this is high on your value. But if you spend money, say, on books coming out so that you can read and study those books, this is a different type of value. You can indicate what is valuable to you by the amount of time and effort and energies you put into that. You might kid yourself that the high on your value as a retiree is a world trip to, say, Asia or North America. But if you've never really thought about it much until now, and you think, well, I'm going to have this money, I'll be able to do it, it's not really high on your values. What's going to keep you happy in your retirement is pursuing those interests and things that you feel valuable to you. Not what you guess might be, but what are indicative to you by the things that you've been doing in your life so far. This is a measurement of who and what and how you feel about your life. This is what you need to concentrate on when you get that final payout and you decide that, yes, what am I going to do with my life? I look at what's valuable to me and I'll pursue those things. And if you do that, you'll probably have a much more rewarding retirement than if you just say, well, I'll go on a holiday.